Hi, my name's Catherine Tackley and I am Professor of Music at the University of Liverpool in the UK, and my main research interest is in early jazz, particularly in Europe and in Britain. And James Reese is a really fascinating figure, and his legacy is very, very important, and I think there are several reasons for that. Firstly, he created the Clef Club before the war. There was both a practical measure in terms of advancing black players in the profession, but also giving that sense of collectivity to empower its members to advance the cause of black music. And in many ways, this can be understood as a prototype for other more recent musical collectives that often have both a musical and a political aim and motivation behind them. Secondly, these days, as we're approaching a sort of sense of the centenary of the birth of jazz, music like Europe's shows us importantly the sense of blurring of boundaries between different styles of music that were around at the time and how jazz came out of that. So Europe's output then blurred military music with ragtime, blues and jazz, and considering his career and what he achieved musically helps us to understand the way in which jazz began to emerge as a sort of definite musical style. James Reese then played for dancing and for formal concerts, and then injected elements of that popular music into this military band setting. And it was that involvement in the military then that was one of the factors that brought jazz and popular music, American popular music, to Europe. And often we think of those structures within the entertainment or musical profession as being responsible for bringing music across the Atlantic and indeed back again. And in jazz, we often look at recordings as evidence for that, for the emergence of that musical style. But that sense of migration and transmission of music is often caused by much bigger structures that are associated with international relations, empire and colonialism, which bring groups of people together in unexpected and often unprecedented ways. And there can be no clearer example and demonstration of that then than war, which of course causes major cultural and societal disruption and a great deal of antagonism. But out of these challenging circumstances can spring new artistic awareness and new artistic impulses. Which brings me to my final point, which is about impact. Who heard James Reese Europe's music? What did they think about it? And what did they do as a result? Fundamentally, these were young people that were playing the latest styles of popular music to other young people. And we recognise that from our own experiences. But within this climate of massive, immense upheaval, a very challenging time. So what did this music mean? What did it come to mean to these young people who found themselves thrust into the front line of war? So these are some of the themes that I'll be exploring over the coming weeks.